You did not arrive at this Monday by accident. You are stepping into a moment that has been quietly forming while you were enduring pressure, misunderstanding, and delay. This is not just another day on the calendar. This is a turning point disguised as routine. Heaven has marked this Monday, and your spirit recognizes it even if your mind is still catching up. Something is shifting beneath the surface, and you are standing at the exact intersection where preparation meets release. There were seasons when you did everything right, yet nothing seemed to move. You prayed, you waited, you obeyed, and still the doors remained closed. People questioned your decisions. Some walked away when you needed them most. And there were moments, private moments, when you wondered if obedience was costing you more than it was giving you. But what you could not see then is what becomes clear now. God was building endurance before He released elevation. He was strengthening your inner structure so that success would not crush you when it arrived. This Monday is not loud, but it is heavy with purpose. It will test your awareness. Distractions will appear harmless. Small frustrations will try to pull you out of alignment. But if you remain spiritually alert, you will notice that clarity comes faster today. Decisions feel cleaner. Discernment sharper. You will sense when to speak and when to stay silent. This is the mark of maturity. This is what happens when God trusts someone with momentum. You have carried weight that others never noticed. You absorbed disappointment without becoming bitter. You learned how to stand alone without becoming isolated. That is not weakness, that is training. God does not rush those He plans to use publicly. He hides them until their roots can support visibility. The loneliness you felt was not abandonment. It was refinement. And now, because you did not quit, you are stepping into a week where things begin to align instead of resist. Understand this clearly: this Monday is not about striving harder. It is about moving accurately. One aligned choice today outweighs months of forced effort. Your posture matters. Your tone matters. Your obedience in small things matters. Heaven responds to precision, not panic. When you stay centered, you allow God to move without obstruction. You are not meant to blend in with the rhythm of this world. That is why conformity always felt suffocating to you. You were designed to move by conviction, not by trend. This Monday will make that distinction visible. You may notice that certain conversations no longer fit. Certain environments suddenly feel heavy. This is not confusion, it is separation. God is simplifying your life so acceleration can begin, as was spoken in the sacred texts of old, the ancient words recorded in Romans. Chapter 8, verse 28 still echo today. And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love Him, who have been called according to His purpose. That is not a comforting phrase, it is a governing truth. All things includes the delay, the disappointment, the detours, and the days you thought were wasted. Nothing was random, nothing was stolen, everything was folded into purpose. This Monday activates understanding. You begin to see why things unfolded the way they did, why certain doors never opened, why certain people could not go with you. Wisdom replaces frustration. Gratitude replaces regret. When understanding arrives, peace follows, and peace is a sign that God is near. Be attentive today. God often releases direction quietly before He releases movement publicly. A thought will come. An instruction will surface. Do not dismiss it because it feels simple. Simplicity is how God keeps pride out of the process. Obedience today becomes momentum tomorrow. Before you move forward, take a moment to like this message. Share it with someone who needs confirmation. and subscribe so you remain connected to what is unfolding. This is not about noise, it is about staying aligned with the timing of God. Remember, this history does not always change with thunder. Sometimes it shifts on a quiet Monday when one person chooses to stay faithful, stay focused, and stay obedient. Walk into this day with expectation, not fear. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. You are positioned. At the end of this message, as a sign of agreement and awareness, comment the number 77. What unfolds after this Monday is not sudden chaos, but a quiet interruption. Your routine will look familiar on the surface, yet underneath it, heaven is rearranging priorities you did not even realize had drifted out of alignment. This is how God often intervenes, not by destroying your schedule, but by slipping purpose into it. You may wake up expecting an ordinary continuation, but something within you will sense resistance against the old pace. The urgency you once felt to keep up, to prove, to explain yourself begins to dissolve. You are entering a stretch where God interrupts patterns rather than people. Cycles that repeated for years suddenly lose momentum. Habits that once felt automatic begin to feel foreign. You might even feel disoriented for a moment, as if the familiar no longer fits. This is not instability. This is recalibration. When God is about to move you forward, He first loosens your attachment to what no longer belongs in your future. There were systems you learned to survive in, but you were never meant to stay there. You adapted to environments that did not honor your calling. You learned how to minimize yourself so others could feel comfortable. But heaven has no interest in maintaining what only taught you how to endure. God interrupts endurance when it is time for expansion. What once required effort will soon require trust instead. You may notice delays that do not frustrate you the way they used to. Interruptions that once triggered anxiety now feel purposeful. This is a sign that your inner alignment is changing. God is teaching you to move by discernment, not by pressure. The rush that once drove you was never from Him. It was a survival response, and survival is not the language of promise. This section of your journey requires sensitivity. God is speaking between moments, not always through dramatic signs. A conversation that lingers in your mind longer than expected. A sudden pause before making a decision. A discomfort that has no logical explanation. These are not inconveniences, they are signals. Heaven often whispers before it moves. Those who listen early avoid correction later. You have spent years asking God to change circumstances. Now He is changing perception. That is the deeper work. When perception changes, behavior follows naturally. You no longer chase validation the way you once did. You no longer explain yourself to people who are committed to misunderstanding you. This is not arrogance. This is clarity. And clarity is a form of freedom. There is also a separation happening internally. Parts of you that were shaped by fear are losing authority. Old narratives, you must hurry, you must compete, you must please, are being challenged. You are realizing that speed without direction is just exhaustion. God is not impressed by how fast you move if you are running in circles. He is interested in precision, not performance. As Jesus Himself declared in the Gospel of John, chapter 14, Verse 27, "Peace I leave with you, my peace I give you. I do not give to you as the world gives. Do not let your hearts be troubled and do not be afraid." This peace is not emotional comfort, it is spiritual authority. It is the calm that comes when you are aligned with heaven's order rather than the world's urgency. When peace increases, confusion decreases. When peace governs, fear loses its leverage. This interruption may feel subtle, but it is decisive. God is removing noise so you can hear instruction. Some things will slow down so others can speed up later. You are being trained to recognize divine timing instead of reacting to external pressure. This is why impatience no longer feels natural to you. Your spirit knows that forcing outcomes now would damage what is forming. There is also healing embedded in this stage. Not dramatic healing, but quiet restoration. You begin to forgive without effort. You release expectations without resentment. You stop replaying conversations that already ended. This is the fruit of alignment. When God interrupts your routine, He also interrupts emotional loops that kept you anchored to the past. Pay attention to what no longer drains you. Pay attention to what suddenly energizes you. These are clues. God often reveals calling through attraction rather than instruction. What draws you now is connected to what is coming next. The interruption is not random, it is directional. You are not losing control. You are transferring it. Control was never meant to be your burden. Trust is lighter. And as you learn to move without gripping outcomes, you will notice doors opening without force, people responding without resistance, solutions appearing without stress. This is what happens when heaven interrupts the ordinary and replaces it with the eternal. This phase is quieter than the breakthrough you imagined, but it is more powerful. Loud changes impress people. Quiet changes reshape destiny. And right now, your destiny is being reshaped from the inside out. What you are facing right now is not random resistance, and it is not punishment. It is assessment. Heaven is observing how you interpret pressure, because interpretation determines reaction, and reaction determines outcome. Many people fail tests not because the test is too hard, but because they mislabel it. They assume opposition means rejection. They assume delay means denial. They assume discomfort means something has gone wrong. But for you, this moment is different. This is not a setback. This is a measuring line. If you see your current challenge as a punishment, you will respond with frustration, self-pity, or fear. You will rush. You will defend. You will grasp for control. But if you recognize it as a test, your posture changes. You slow down. You observe. You ask better questions. Tests are not meant to destroy you. They are meant to reveal you. God already knows what is in you. The test is how you come to know it. This is why the same type of challenge keeps appearing until the lesson changes. God does not waste tests. When something repeats, it is not because you are failing. It is because you are being trained. The environment stays the same until the response matures. This is where many react emotionally and delay their own progress. They fight the situation instead of learning from it. But you are being invited into a higher response now. Here is the practical shift you must make. Stop asking, "Why is this happening to me?" and start asking, "What is this testing in me?" Is it patience? Is it restraint? Is it obedience when no one is watching? Is it humility when you are right? But still choose peace. When you identify the lesson, the pressure loses its power to confuse you. Clarity dismantles chaos. Tests often come wrapped in emotional triggers. Someone says something that touches an old wound. An opportunity arrives later than expected. A door opens, but not in the way you imagined. These are not accidents. God is testing whether you will react from old scars or from new identity. You are no longer who you were when those wounds were formed. But if you respond as if you are, the test repeats. This is where spiritual maturity is forged. Immaturity asks for escape. Maturity asks for mastery. The goal is not to get out of the test quickly. The goal is to pass it correctly. Speed without understanding only leads to repetition. Passing the test once saves you from taking it again. There is also a hidden reward in test's authority. When you pass quietly without needing validation, God increases your internal authority. When you gain self-governance, you are no longer easily provoked. You are no longer pulled into unnecessary battles. This is not weakness, this is command. You begin to choose your responses instead of being hijacked by emotion. You may notice that the test is happening at a higher level than before. The stakes feel different. The consequences feel heavier. That is because you have progressed. Elementary lessons do not prepare you for advanced responsibility. God increases the difficulty only after He has increased your capacity. The fact that this test feels intense is not a sign you are failing, it is a sign you are trusted. According to what is revealed in the book of Proverbs, chapter 17, verse 3, the crucible for silver and the furnace for gold, but the Lord tests the heart. Notice what is being tested, not your skill, not your appearance, not your reputation, your heart. Motive matters at this level. God is refining intention, not behavior alone. You can do the right thing for the wrong reason and still fail the test. Alignment is deeper than action. This is why you must resist reacting publicly before processing privately. Tests are often failed in the first emotional response. Silence is sometimes the correct answer. Waiting is sometimes obedience. Restraint is often strength in disguise. You do not need to prove anything during a test. Proof comes after passing, not during pressure. Practice this today when tension rises. Pause and label it. Say internally, "This is a test." That single recognition interrupts automatic reactions. It gives you space to choose wisely. Tests lose urgency when they are named. You move from being inside the storm to observing it, and observers make better decisions than participants driven by emotion. Remember, punishment comes with condemnation. Tests come with instruction. If you are still being taught, you are still being invested in. God does not test what He plans to discard. He tests what He plans to elevate. This moment is shaping how much weight you can carry next. Before moving forward, anchor this truth with a simple act of agreement. In the comments, write "I choose wisdom." This is not a slogan. It is a declaration that you will respond thoughtfully instead of reactively, that you recognize the nature of this moment, and that you are committed to passing what is placed before you. There comes a point in your journey when what was once hidden begins to surface, not dramatically, not all at once, but with undeniable clarity. This is that point. The resistance you felt for so long was not endless. It was directional. You were not surrounded by opposition because you were weak, but because something valuable was being guarded on the other side of your persistence. Now, the unseen conflict is reaching a verdict. What has wrestled with your progress is losing its authority to delay you. Spiritual warfare is not always loud. Often it is subtle, psychological, and prolonged. It shows up as doubt that lingers too long, fatigue that has no physical cause, or opportunities that almost but not quite materialize. You have lived in that tension. You have felt the push and pull, the advance and retreat. But understand, this warfare changes when endurance has done its work. There is a moment when persistence turns into permission, and permission turns into release. You are standing in that transition now. What once felt like resistance now feels like pressure lifting. Not because the battle never existed, but because it is being resolved. Heaven does not fight endlessly. When a lesson is learned, when alignment is achieved, the conflict loses its legal ground. What opposed you is being answered, not by force, but by authority. This is why your confidence is quieter now. You are no longer trying to convince yourself or anyone else that God is with you. You know. Certainty has replaced urgency. You no longer chase outcomes. You steward posture. This is what happens when battles move from the external to the internal and are won there first. The verdict of spiritual warfare often shows itself through peace before breakthrough, calm before clarity, stillness before speed. Do not misinterpret this calm as inactivity. It is stabilization. God is steadying you so you do not mishandle what is about to move quickly. Sudden acceleration without inner grounding can undo years of preparation. Heaven is intentional. You may notice that certain fears no longer have the same voice. Old threats feel empty. Accusations that once shook you now fall flat. This is not because the enemy has become quiet, but because you have become established. Authority silences noise without effort. You do not argue with shadows once you know where the light stands. This phase also brings discernment about which battles are no longer yours to fight. You stop engaging in conflicts that drain but do not advance you. Silence becomes a weapon. Distance becomes wisdom. Focus becomes protection. These are not retreats. They are strategic elevations. You are learning to fight fewer battles because you no longer need to prove strength through constant engagement. As the apostle reminds us in his letter to the Corinthians, it was proclaimed in the second letter to Corinthians, chapter 10, verse 4. For the weapons of our warfare are not of the world, but have divine power to demolish strongholds. Notice that the power is divine, not emotional. You were never meant to win by force of personality, argument, or persistence alone. Strongholds collapse when truth replaces distortion, when identity replaces insecurity, when obedience replaces reaction. This verdict also brings exposure. What was hidden in the dark begins to lose its influence. Not everything needs to be revealed publicly to be dismantled spiritually. Some chains break without announcement. Some doors open without explanation. You will see evidence, not spectacle, and that is enough. There is a maturity required to walk through this moment without announcing it prematurely. Breakthrough spoken too early can invite interference. Wisdom knows when to move silently. Let results speak. Let consistency testify. Let time confirm what God has already settled. As this section unfolds, you may feel prompted to reflect on how far you have come. Take a moment quietly to acknowledge the endurance it took to get here. Gratitude stabilizes victory. It keeps pride from corrupting progress and fear from sabotaging momentum. Gratitude anchors you to truth. If this message is helping you recognize what season you are in, consider staying connected. Sometimes a simple act like liking or sharing a message allows someone else to gain clarity they desperately need. And subscribing is not about obligation. It is about remaining aligned with guidance that speaks to where you are becoming, not just where you have been. There is value in walking this out together. What happens next will not be chaotic. It will be intentional. The verdict has already been issued in the unseen, and what follows is manifestation. Do not rush it. Do not second-guess it. Walk forward steadily, knowing that what once opposed you no longer has the authority to stop you. You are not entering a season of struggle. You are entering a season of confirmation. The warfare did not break you. It positioned you. And now, with clarity, calm, and authority, you move forward not as someone hoping to win, but as someone who already has. There are moments when destiny does not announce itself with thunder. It waits quietly for one step, one decision, one act of obedience that looks ordinary to everyone else but shifts everything in the unseen. This is where your story now mirrors an ancient one. Not because history repeats exactly, but because principles remain the same. What you are facing is not just an opportunity. It is an invitation to step forward when staying back would feel safer. Consider David not as a legend yet, but as a young shepherd still carrying the smell of sheep on his clothes. He was not summoned to the battlefield because of his reputation. He was sent because of obedience. His father asked him to bring food to his brother. That was it. No prophecy in that moment, no applause, just a simple instruction. Yet that single step placed him in the exact location where destiny was waiting. David did not wake up that morning planning to confront a giant. He woke up planning to serve. And this is where many misunderstand how God accelerates lives. They think destiny requires dramatic intention, when often it requires simple faithfulness. David showed up where he was told to go. And because he showed up, he saw what others had normalized. An entire army was frozen by fear. But David perceived the situation differently. What others called impossible, he called unacceptable. This is the shift happening in you now. You are beginning to see challenges not as immovable facts, but as misalignments waiting for correction. The same problem that intimidates others activates clarity in you. Not because you are fearless, but because you are aligned. David did not deny the size of Goliath. He denied Goliath's authority. There is a difference. David's step onto the battlefield was not reckless. It was informed by history, his history with God. He remembered the lion. He remembered the bear. Private victories became public confidence. This is why your past struggles matter. They were not random hardships. They were rehearsals. You did not know it then, but every quiet win was preparing your nervous system to stay steady when the stakes were higher. When David spoke, his words revealed something deeper than courage. They revealed identity. He did not say, "I can win." He said, "This battle belongs to the Lord." That perspective removed pressure from his performance and placed responsibility on God's faithfulness. This is the mindset that changes outcomes. When you stop fighting to prove yourself and start standing to represent truth, momentum shifts. As the prophet Samuel recorded in the sacred history, it is written in the first book of Samuel, chapter 17, verse 47. All those gathered here will know that it is not by sword or spear that the Lord saves, for the battle is the Lord's, and he will give all of you into our hands. That declaration did not come after the victory. It came before it. Faith speaks from alignment, not from evidence. Notice something important. David did not wear armor that did not fit. He refused what belonged to someone else's battle strategy. He chose what he had already proven in private. This matters for you. Your breakthrough will not come from copying how others fight. It will come from trusting what God has already trained you to use. Authenticity is not a weakness in warfare, it is precision. One step onto the battlefield changed David's trajectory forever. He went from unseen shepherd to recognized warrior in a single day. But that shift did not start with the giant falling. It started with David moving forward while others stayed frozen. Movement reveals readiness. Hesitation hides it. This is where your life is now. The step in front of you may not look dramatic, may feel small. Speak up, apply, let go. Show up, forgive. Decline what looks impressive but feels misaligned. These steps do not announce destiny, but they activate it. God does not always wait for perfection, he waits for willingness. Understand this clearly, David did not become king that day, but his fate changed direction permanently. Some victories do not finish the story, they turn the page. What you are stepping into now is a turning point, not an ending. Do not despise it because it looks incomplete. Seeds do not look like trees at first. Also notice this opposition intensified right before movement. Goliath did not appear after David became king. He appeared before. Resistance often guards transitions. If something is standing loudly in your way, it may be because you are closer than you think. Fear gets louder when authority is about to shift. Your obedience may place you in environments that expose you. David was mocked by his own brother before he was ever honored by the nation. Do not let familiar voices redefine your confidence. Those closest to you may only know the version of you that survived, not the one that is about to lead out to. Now, this is where personal response matters. David still had to step forward. God did not push him. Heaven opened the door, but David walked through it. Destiny requires participation. Alignment is not passive. And today, you are being invited to agree with movement. At this point, anchor this message with a simple act of faith. In the comments, write the number 144. This is not about superstition. It is a marker, a way of saying you recognize the moment when a single step can change direction, just as it did for David. There is a season when separation no longer feels like rejection, but begins to reveal itself as intentional design. You are living inside that season now. What once felt confusing, why certain paths closed, why familiar connections faded, why your life narrowed instead of expanded now starts to make sense. God was not reducing you. He was refining you. He was drawing boundaries not to limit you, but to protect what He had placed inside you. Being marked by God rarely looks impressive at first. It often looks quiet, misunderstood, even lonely. You may have wondered why you could not fully belong in places where others seemed comfortable, why conversations felt shallow, why environments that once energized you began to drain you. That discomfort was not restlessness. It was discernment awakening. When purpose sharpens, tolerance for misalignment decreases. Separation is one of the most misunderstood tools God uses. People often assume it means abandonment or punishment. But in truth, separation is preparation. Before God entrusts visibility, He establishes stability. Before He releases influence, He confirms identity. Then you are learning who you are without applause, without affirmation, without external markers of success. That knowledge cannot be shaken later. This is why comparison has begun to lose its grip on you. You no longer envy paths that are not yours. You no longer feel pressured by timelines that do not match your assignment. You can appreciate another person's progress without questioning your own. That is growth. That is evidence that your identity is becoming anchored internally rather than borrowed externally. There is also a subtle strengthening happening within you. You react less, you observe more, you choose your words carefully, not because you are afraid, but because you understand weight. Words carry consequence at this level. Decisions echo longer. God is teaching you restraint not as limitation, but as authority under control. Vindication is also approaching, but not in the way you once imagined. It may not come with apologies or public acknowledgement from those who doubted you. Often, vindication arrives quietly, when circumstances shift and your life begins to speak for itself. Silence replaces accusation. Distance replaces conflict. Fruit replaces explanation. This is a cleaner form of justice, one that does not entangle you emotionally. You are also learning that not everyone who knew your past is qualified to walk into your future. Some relationships were seasonal. They served a purpose. but they cannot make the next transition with you. This realization does not harden you, it humbles you. Gratitude replaces resentment. Release replaces resentment. You bless what was without trying to carry it forward. This marking also affects how you view success. You no longer crave recognition for its own sake. You crave alignment. You would rather be accurate than admired, effective than applauded. This shift protects you from pride and shields you from burnout. Many people collapse under success because their inner world was never prepared for external demand. God is preventing that in you, as was spoken in the sacred texts of old. The Word of God declares in the book of Psalms, chapter 4, verse 3, "Know that the Lord has set apart the godly for himself. The Lord hears when I call to him." Being set apart is not isolation, it is intimacy. It means access. It means when you speak, heaven listens. When you move, heaven responds. Separation is not distance from God, it is closeness to Him. This is why prayer feels different now. Not louder, not longer, deeper, more focused. You are no longer negotiating with God, you are communing with Him. You do not beg for direction, you receive it. Stillness has become productive. Silence has become informative. These are signs of maturity. You may also notice that certain temptations no longer appeal to you. Old coping mechanisms lose their power. Old escapes feel empty. This is not discipline alone, it is transformation. When identity changes, appetite follows. You no longer hunger for what once fed insecurity. You are learning to draw strength from alignment rather than distraction. Public vindication will come, but private wholeness comes first. God cares more about your internal order than your external image. A life that looks successful but is internally fractured cannot sustain influence. God is healing fractures before He increases reach. That is mercy, not delay. Do not rush this season. Marking requires patience. Like ink soaking into fabric, it takes time to set. But once it does, it cannot be washed out. When recognition comes, it will not feel foreign, it will feel familiar, because you have already lived into it privately. For now, remain steady. Do not explain what God has not yet revealed. Do not force doors that are meant to open with ease. Continue to choose integrity when no one is watching. Continue to value alignment over approval. These quiet choices are shaping a future that will speak louder than words ever could. You are not hidden because you are insignificant. You are hidden because you are significant. And when the time comes for visibility, it will be clear to everyone that the separation was not accidental. It was divine. This is where everything converges, not in noise, not in spectacle, but in decision. History is rarely rewritten by crowds. It is rewritten by individuals who say yes when it would be easier to stay silent. This Monday does not stand alone. It gathers everything you have walked through and brings it to a point of surrender. You are not being rushed, but you are being invited. Invited to agree with what God has been forming in you across seasons of pressure, patience, and refinement. This convergence may feel quiet, but it is deeply intentional. Nothing is colliding by chance. Everything is aligning by design. The experiences you thought were scattered are now revealing a pattern. God has been weaving consistency out of contradiction. What once felt fragmented now forms a single direction, calling you not to strive harder, but to step forward with trust and clarity. You are no longer guessing who you are. You have lived long enough in uncertainty to recognize clarity when it arrives. What you feel now is not emotional excitement. It is settled resolve. Something in you has moved from questioning to choosing. That shift is powerful. Heaven responds differently to decision than it does to desire. Desire asks, decision aligns. Your yes does not need to be dramatic. It does not need witnesses. It only needs honesty. God is not asking you to become someone else. He is asking you to stop resisting who you already are becoming. The future you have sensed for years does not begin with a giant leap. It begins with consent. Consent to let go of what no longer fits. Consent to step forward without needing full visibility. Consent to trust God's character when the path still unfolds one step at a time. This is why this moment carries weight. You are not choosing between good and evil. You are choosing between comfort and calling. Comfort keeps you familiar. Calling pulls you forward. And while calling often feels heavier at first, it produces a lighter soul in the long run. You have tasted both, and you know which one leaves you empty. There will always be reasons to delay. Timing will never look perfect from the outside. But alignment is not about external readiness. It is about internal agreement. When your will lines up with God's direction, momentum follows naturally. Resistance does not vanish, but it loses its authority to stop you. Courage is not the absence of fear, it is movement despite it. You are also learning that your yes affects more than just you. Decisions made in alignment ripple outward. People you may never meet will benefit from your obedience. Stories you may never hear will be altered because you chose integrity over convenience. This is the unseen reach of faithfulness. God works generationally, even when obedience feels personal. As Joshua once stood before the people at a defining crossroads, the voice of God thundered through the book of Joshua, chapter 24, verse 15. Choose for yourselves this day whom you will serve. But as for me and my household, we will serve the Lord. That declaration was not made in ease. It was made after wilderness, after battles, after loss and learning. Choice came after experience, and now, choice stands before you. Notice that Joshua did not force agreement. He modeled conviction. True leadership begins with personal resolve. Your life does the same. When you choose alignment, you give others permission to examine their own direction. You become a reference point, not because you are loud, but because you are consistent. This section of your journey is about ownership. You stop outsourcing responsibility for your spiritual posture. You stop waiting for permission to obey. You recognize that God has already spoken enough for you to act. Faith is not always about new instruction. Sometimes it is about honoring what has already been revealed. You may not know every detail of what comes next, but you know the direction. Forward. Deeper. Truer. That is enough. God rarely reveals the full map to those who have not yet taken the step in front of them. Movement unlocks clarity. Obedience sharpens vision. As you walk this out, remember to remain grounded. Success does not require isolation, but it does require discernment. Stay connected to voices that encourage humility, wisdom, and growth sometimes. Staying aligned is as simple as staying fed, spiritually nourished by messages that remind you who you are and where you are going. If this message has helped bring clarity or confirmation, consider staying connected here. A simple like or share can place this word in front of someone who is standing at their own crossroads. And subscribing is not about numbers. It is about remaining anchored to truth as your next chapters unfold. Growth is easier when you are not walking alone. Now step forward with confidence, not arrogance, with humility, not hesitation. You are not trying to make history for attention. You are making history through obedience. This Monday will be remembered, even if only by heaven at first. And that is enough. Before you leave this moment, Pause not to analyze, not to rush forward, but simply to notice what stayed with you. Not every word was meant to be remembered. Only the parts that resonated, that stirred something quietly inside you, matter. Those are the signals. Those are the fragments meant to travel with you into what comes next. If this message was useful, if it helped you name a season, clarify a decision, or steady your spirit, you are welcome to share it. Sometimes a single shared word reaches someone standing at the exact edge you once stood on, and that matters. But sharing is not an obligation. Truth never forces itself forward. It waits to be carried willingly. And if this message was not for you in its entirety, that is also fine. Not every seed is meant to be planted immediately. You are free to keep only what touched you, the sentence that lingered, the idea that softened resistance, the reminder that gave you peace. Let the rest fall away without guilt. Growth does not require agreement with everything, only honesty with what resonates. An open ending does not mean uncertainty, it means permission. Permission for this message to continue working quietly, in ways that do not need explanation. Permission for you to move forward without pressure to label what just happened. Some understanding arrives later, when experience catches up to insight. What matters most is this: you leave this space more aware than when you entered it, more attentive, more grounded, not convinced by force, but invited by clarity. Whatever step comes next, whether visible or internal, you will recognize it when it appears. And when it does, you won't need a voice to tell you what to do. You'll already know.